Because fear can only last some time, but regret can last a lifetime. So it's a matter of not wanting to live a life of regrets. Should I do life focus? Maybe I don't need. I am having the Nami video. How do you make the right decisions and suppress the fear of making the wrong decision? Some are deep questions, some are just basic questions which I'm really open to. Assalamualaikum everyone and welcome to another vlog. So insyaAllah today I'll be answering some of your questions. So what happened was that I made an IG story. Anything, what would you want to ask me? It not being too serious, keeping it positive, and yep, I got a bunch of questions, mashallah. I don't think I'll be able to cover as much, but I'll try my best. Based off the questions on the first glance, some are deep questions, some are just basic questions which I'm really open to. So the first question is, share your Umrah journey. So I went for Umrah back in 2014. We actually went to Medina first, then we went to Makkah. One of the memorable things from Medina itself is how cold it was. It's very hot here in Singapore, particularly because Singapore is quite near to the equator. And when I was in Medina, the temperature was 16 degrees Celsius. So 16 degrees Celsius is like our aircon temperature here in Singapore, and I didn't know that it could get like 16 degrees Celsius could get that cold. My nose started to bleed, which happened to my mom as well. And it's beautiful how when you wake up in the morning, especially during Fajr, during Subuh prayers, like the only thing that you see are people heading for prayers, and that is just a beautiful sight. That really grounds us and reminds us of our purpose in this life. The most memorable thing about Makkah would be the place itself, how everyone is just doing their tawaf, just worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I got a few questions on what's your morning routine, what are your morning routines after Subuh prayers to start my day slow, start my mornings slow. So on days that I could pray, I would wake up for Subuh, and right after praying Subuh, I would just sit on the prayer mat and take my time to just breathe and spend my time with Allah. It's a phase, or it's a time where I can just think about, okay, what do I want to do for the day, what are my intentions for the day, remind myself of my purpose, how I can plan things around my prayer instead of prayer around my other agendas or other things. Most importantly is to just breathe, because back in 2019 I don't really have much of the slow mornings, and some mornings are very rushing and I still hold on to feeling tired from the night before. So it was really not healthy, but yeah, I learned through that. I then slowly get ready for work. Part of the activities that I do in the morning is to read a little as well. I watched some videos how people actually has a morning routine, like okay, I wake up, then I wash my face with ice, and then like I put this, I put that. So mine is maybe not that interesting, but that's roughly what I do in the morning. Yeah. Next question. Your dream travel destination. We would all want to visit different parts of the world and experience them. I'll not share with you the first one, like my top favorite place that I would really want to go. What comes in second? Places like Turkey, Morocco, Istanbul. Yeah, basically scenery areas, and also Switzerland/New Zealand. Personally living in Singapore, always seeing tall buildings and cars and a lot of that, and busy people walking to and fro. I feel that if I could escape to those kind of countries, it would be very therapeutic. Next question. What kind of friend should we hold on to tightly? We all know how important friends are, and who you make friends with they define the kind of person that you are. You don't have to talk, you don't have to message, WhatsApp every single day to recognize or to show that yes, I'm still friends with you. We have our own lives, and sometimes we can get a little bit too busy to reply messages. And I also value friends who advise one another to goodness, but of course with wisdom, with rahmah, because I feel that that's what friends are for. Sometimes when you don't notice certain things, they are the ones who will notice them for you and will remind you, especially on Allah, on the religion, and on the good things in life. I see them as like stars, how stars would then shine your dark nights, but when it's in the day you don't really see those stars, but those stars are there. Who do you want to meet the most? I've never thought about that. I guess if we are talking about those who have passed, the first person that comes to mind would be my grandfather. I totally have no idea what would life be like if he is still around. If I could choose him, it would be on the whole concept of what it would be like if we're going through a life like this and he is around. So of course, I would love to meet the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and ask him on his inspirations to do da'wah, his inspirations to continue to believe in people, continue to believe in the people who don't believe in him. If it's who I would want to meet who is still alive, it would be great to meet, people who are trying to spread positivity. Do you inform anyone before you first start doing reflection videos? Do apologize if you have answered before. Okay, first things, you don't have to apologize. Second thing, I have never addressed this, or I have never shared anything about this matter before. I started doing reflections, okay, not the videos, but reflections on my particular Instagram account back in January 2018. So it was the month in which I ended my university studies. So prior to that, I took up like about half a year, like about 6 months before January 2018, to think about whether I should do it or not, whether it is meant for me, whether I can benefit people. Because at that point of time, I had an Instagram account that was private, but slowly it was gaining more followers from people that I barely know. But I still accepted them because I met them once, or I talked with them once, and they seemed to benefit from the things that I shared, or specifically my reflections. So I was thinking, if I could have an account or a page that people could benefit from, people from all over the world could benefit from, and it doesn't have to be the people that I know, then I guess it is something that I want to do. I really want to benefit others with the things that I can do, with the things that I know, the little that I know. I guess specifically it was my roommate, because I was roommates with her for 3 years, and we talked about a lot of things. And there were times where I asked, should I do a public account? Should I start sharing to people who I do not know? Should I do this? Should I do that? And what were my parents' first reactions? So alhamdulillah, I have very supportive parents. Of course they were happy for me, they were supportive of the things that I do, but of course they would always remind me, of my intentions, of why I do things, and so that I would always do things only for the sake of Allah, but not for other things. Sometimes when we get into a phase where we misinterpret our value with likes, with shares, with comments, that is very dangerous. So perhaps I really needed all of these reminders from my parents on the matter of intentions. And as I mentioned, they are very supportive. They are the kind of people in which, if I know what I want to do, if I know how I want to do it, I explain to them, I have a plan, then they will be totally fine. They will be totally fine, totally supportive, alhamdulillah. But of course, along the way, if they have, certain comments, if they have some building advices that could help me do things better, then they would share. But what worries them is when I don't have a plan, when I just do things without even thinking. They have been supporting me since then, alhamdulillah, and they religiously watch my videos. So Bunda, yeah, if you're watching this, thank you so much for supporting me this far. How do you make the right decisions and suppress the fear of making the wrong decision? Okay, so the thing about decisions is that it doesn't mean that when you decide on something, you're making a decision. When you are not making a decision, that in itself is you making a decision. Do you understand? Do I make sense? Like, for example, okay, I don't know what to decide on. So at that point, you are deciding that you don't know what to decide on. And when you don't decide on something, it's you deciding yourself that, okay, I don't want to decide on something. So it's all, every single day, it's a matter of decisions. Every single day there will be so many decisions that we want to make. You know, what I want to wear, what I want to eat, where should I go, what time should I sleep, what should I think for the day, should I let things affect me or not. So, you know, one thing that I would always remind myself is that, of course, we fear, of course, we feel scared at some point, of course, we get anxious on certain things. But if we know that that particular thing will benefit us in the long run, if we know that if I decide on certain things, and insyaAllah, you know, after much thinking, after much, you know, making dua and doing istikhara and all of that, when I somehow feel deep down that it is what I really want to decide on, then I really go for it. Because I don't want to spend my entire life regretting on the things that I did not do, regretting on the things that I did not decide upon, regretting on the things that I did not pursue. So, you know, of course I want, you know, at a point where I want to decide, I am blocked by fear, but I don't want to be blocked by regret. Because fear can only last some time, but regret can last a lifetime. So it's a matter of not wanting to live a life of regrets. So of course you will need time to overcome the fear, to overcome those things. But one of the things that can help you tackle fear is when you do more research on that particular thing that you want to decide upon. Because most times we fear, or most times we get messed up in the mind because we are not sure about the things that we are embarking on the things that we want to decide. So having more knowledge about it, doing more research about it, will give you a sense of confidence, and it will lessen your fear, insyaAllah. I wish I could answer them all, but perhaps I could do it on a separate video. But yeah, thank you so much for asking. I hope that this little sharing can be of benefit to you. If you like this video, perhaps you can like, comment, and share, maybe subscribe, insyaAllah, so that you can get notified for future videos. Okay, so yeah, so that's my take on answering some of your questions. Maybe I should do this again on a specific topic, I don't know. So if you have any ideas, you can always let me know down below, or DM me on Instagram, and I will be happy to accommodate, insyaAllah. Okay, alright, see you in the next vlog perhaps, insyaAllah. Assalamualaikum.